how does one make your inner engineering into a way of life for us adults? And that's the first part. The second part was, I don't agree with you when you say that children are happy, small children. I don't agree with that because I have two small children. They're very happy at home. But when they go to school, kindergarten today is a war zone. They have to be equipped to fight a battle every day. And in this concept, in engineering, I really don't know how does one go about it when you have to apply it to your children.
Now, if children are very unhappy at school, I think we need to examine the teachers. Because it's a natural human trait. It's a natural human trait that when you get to know something that you did not know, it brings much joy to you. Is it so? Yes? Learning is a natural human trait that when you learn something that you did not know, it should make you joyful. If learning is making people miserable, then we have not understood what learning is. Unfortunately, you are not sending your children to school because you want them to know, you want them to learn, you want them to earn. That's why you're sending them to school. It's an unfortunate way to handle education. That's not education. You want them enslaved, so the teachers are doing the job for you. You want them enslaved to what you call as economic well-being, so the teachers are just doing the job for you. You are not sending your children to school because you want them to develop a thirst for knowing, irrespective of whether it's going to make money or not make money, isn't it? So you better change your attitudes about education. We are coming up with a school where the whole whole focus of education is not going to be about suppressive information, but about kindling the thirst for knowledge. If the thirst for knowledge is kindled in the child, you can't stop him from learning. You cannot stop him from learning, he's going to learn anyway. But instead of kindling that, you're suppressing it, beating it down with your idea of what is education, because your idea of education is social status and money. It's a wrong way to approach education altogether. So, children, slowly, these joyful bursting pieces of life slowly become sad like this because you're just misorienting them completely. With the kind of compulsions that you have built within yourself, you're trying to put the same compulsions upon the children, which is not necessary.
This is a general question. These days, there's a lot of talk about Vastu and numerology, etc. What will be your considered opinion?
See, when fear rules you, we can make a science out of anything. Just 10 years ago, you did not know anything about Vastu. People lived well, isn't it? Are you living any better than your father or your grandfather who did not know anything about this Vastu nonsense? How this works? Vastu is simple architectural guidance. When you lived in a village, when you had no architect, you don't know how to build a house, without knowing. See, putting a roof span has always been the major problem, till steel and other metal structures came and RCC came. How to put a roof and how to enlarge the span has always been a challenge, because the only thing that you could use was either stone or wood, it was limited. So you don't know, you just have a 5-foot long timber, so what you would do? You would build 5 feet wide house and 100 feet long. If you live in this tunnel, definitely you will become physically, mentally sick one day, isn't it so? So, for the rural folk, they created some simple architectural guidance which is different for different areas. If you're in the mountain, it's a different kind of Vastu, in the plains it's a different kind of Vastu, in different weathers and temperatures, it's a different kind of Vastu. This was just a simple architectural guidance. Today, you have made it as if your life depends on it, as if your business runs on this. I'll tell you one incident. If somebody invites me to house, I'll just check out if they're good cooks. If they're good, I always go. I went to this house for lunch. It's a beautiful house. It's already about 8, 9 years old. And inside the house there's a little garden. Everything is fine except that in the garden, there's one tall casuarina pole encrusted in concrete foundation, standing in the garden, an ugly pole in the middle of the garden. I looked at this and it was totally out of place. I asked this lady, why this casuarina pole? Because there's no construction going on or anything. Oh, she was so ashamed and she didn't want to speak to me, all that. I asked why. And then she said, no, it's a vastu. I said, what happened? One day, one of our friends sent a vastu man to our house. He landed up. Because the friend had sent, she opened the door. Man came and sat inside, walked up and down the house with great authority, looked like this, like that and said, see, in your house, the northwestern corner is taller than the southwestern corner. If it's like this, she has 2 sons, he said, one of your children will die. She said, nonsense, you go. He left his card and went up. He knows how it works. He went away, this lady said, all this nonsense, she said. But then, in the evening, her children came back from school, she looked at both of them. You know, if they slip, she thinks they're going to die. If he feels, don't want to eat dinner today, she thinks he's going to fall dead in the night. It just worked on her. In a week's time, she's going crazy thinking which one is going to die. Then she has the card, she called the man. Okay, you said this, what can we do about it? How much it costs? He said, 50,000 rupees. He said, no, I don't have that kind of money. Haggled and came down to 15,000 rupees. He said, okay, 15,000 rupees, come save my children. On an appointed day, the man came with a tall casuarina pole and planted this casuarina pole on the southwestern corner and showed her, see how the southwestern corner now is taller than the northwestern corner and your children will be okay. Okay, what is this? Tell me. Once you're in fear, you can just be used whichever way. I see a lot of people, they're sleeping in their toilets and cooking in their bedrooms. Yes? See, what I'm telling you is, even if you have to fall dead, at least fall dead with some dignity, being a human being, isn't it? Yes or no? Sleep in your bedroom and fall dead, it's okay. What's the point sleeping in the toilet and you living for 100 years? Live with some courage and dignity in your life, isn't it? Numerology, who created numbers? We created numbers, isn't it? Because you have 10 fingers, you said 0 to 9. If you had 12 fingers, it would be something else, isn't it so? Numbers were created by you, but today numbers are ruling your life. Way back, this is about 10 years ago, I am driving a Maruti car. And I am somebody who uses my car to the limit. Most of the time I drive my car at full blast. And in just about 2 years, I have done 1.4 lakh kilometers on the car, I've traveled all over the country. I've kept it well, but it's used to the limit, because most of the time I keep my car at full speed. So, when I want to sell, I thought it's past its age and I want to sell it. because I'm traveling long distance all the time. Somebody that we know, one of our meditators said, if you're selling that car, it's only to me, he said. I said, why? He said, no, I want that car. I said, why? He said, it's got a fantastic number. All that if I total it, it adds up into something, and that added number is my birthday, this, some calculation. I said, number is okay, please drive the car and see if you like it. He said, no need to drive, that number is enough. My numerology guru has told me, that number is the best number for my life. Everything will happen if I have that car. I tried to put some sense into him, but he insisted. I said, it's okay, you find out what's the price. In the market, give me 10,000 rupees less, you take it. He decided to take it, and he said he'll pay 1 lakh. I said, okay. And he wants to take it on that particular day, 3rd day of the 3rd month at the 9th hour and something, And he came with the money and he's supposed to take the car. He's brought 1 rupee less because he wants to give me 9999999 whatever. Because he's brought this 1 rupee less, he's feeling so embarrassed, he's brought me a gift for 1500 rupees. I said, this was not needed, it's okay, 1 rupee is not my problem. But I wanted to finger him a little bit. I told him, see, the registration number, any moment we can change with 1,000, 2,000 rupees, we can change the number. Shouldn't you have checked the chassis and the engine number, whether it goes well with your birthday or not? The man again went into a fit. Then he immediately went and consulted his numerology guru. That numerology guru doesn't even know that chassis and engine has some number. He said, no, all those numbers no, this is the real number. Oh, and he came fully convinced, this is the real number, it doesn't matter. I said, okay, you take it, all the best for you. He took it. 3-4 weeks later, this is a car that I've used a lot, and literally at that time my travels were such, any number of nights I slept in the car, the reclining seat. So he was a man like this, I can understand how he will drive the car with how much fear. He was driving like this in Coimbatore city. This reclining thing, there's a little gear, it broke, and the backrest just went backwards. And he must have imagined all kinds of evil forces pulling him backwards and he got so terrified. And I happened to meet him after 4 or 5 months. I asked him, how's the car doing? Are you okay? Are you happy? He said, no, I had to give it away because, something very bad happened. I said, what happened? You crashed the car or something? He said, no, like this, some evil forces, just pulled him backwards. And he brought another fantastic number car. Why can't you? Why we don't have the courage to drive that car out of the showroom, swinging it out on the street? Why? Because you're not depending on your capability, you're expecting the stars to run your life, isn't it? That's why the nation is like this. Till you take it into your hands, this is how it's going to be. It's time you took it into your hands. Why? Human nature is of a higher dimension, or numbers and stupid shapes and sizes, inanimate things in the world are of higher nature, you tell me, which is a higher possibility? And when you're alive as a human being, why are you letting stones and rocks and mud and earth rule your life? Human nature should decide the destiny of everything else, isn't it? But other things are deciding the destiny of human nature. It's a disgrace to humanity, really.
Whenever I am with you, I feel I am very comfortable. In case if I am placed thousands of kilometers away from you, how could I communicate with? Generally a master, how he is communicating with the disciple. All the time physical presence may or may not be possible.
Now, When you say, whenever I'm with you, I'm comfortable, I feel insulted. Because my whole life is about disturbing you, unsettling you from limited situations that you're trying to settle into. You're constantly trying to settle into some limitations. My work and my life is to disturb you from that limitation so that till you become unbounded, I don't want to let you settle down anywhere. Now if you're feeling comfortable, that's an insult. About how to communicate, you don't worry. You just keep yourself open. How to keep open also you do not know. Always, I'm not encouraging people to talk about anything which is not in their experience. I want you to stick to what is in your experience and see what's the next step. If you start talking about what is not in your experience, if I start talking about what is not in your experience, you have only two options. Either you have to believe me or disbelieve me, isn't it? Is there any other option? I think it's obscene to forcing you to believe me or forcing you to disbelieve me. It's not necessary. You just work with what you know and let's see what's the next step. If you want to go somewhere, this is the only way. If you want to go either to race course or to moon, you can only start your journey from the seat on which you're sitting right now. Is that so? Is that so? If you try to start your journey from somewhere else, you will hallucinate for the rest of your life and not get anywhere. Is that so? So, what is your reality right now? Only from there you can progress to the next and the next and the next. So don't talk about things which are not in your experience. Do not even aspire for that. Just see what's the next step you should take. Once you know how to take the next step, you will also know how to take the next one and the next one and the next one. This is the only way you will go somewhere. Because people have not realized this fundamental fact, humanity has remained stagnant for such a long time. Please see, scientists are telling you man has been on this planet for over 20 million years. In this 20 million years of living on this planet, it's a huge experience, isn't it? 20 million years of experience. Still you're getting angry like how the caveman was getting angry, isn't it so? Are you getting angry in some other high-tech way? You're still getting angry the same way, isn't it? 20 million years of experience, a simple emotion like anger, we still don't have a solution, simply because we are unwilling to admit where we are. We are always thinking we are up there. See, now you know where God is, you know His address, isn't it? Yes? You know His name, you know His address, you know His wife's name, you know His children's name, you know when is His birthday, you know everything, but you don't know where you are. That's the whole problem. Somebody who is incapable of knowing where he is he capable of knowing where the Creator is? Is there a possibility? Is there such a possibility? So somewhere we get into the game of deception. Once you get into deception, there's no limit to it. It can go on and on and on in a million different ways. This is passing off as religion, unfortunately. Religion means it's the highest intelligence. To live and survive in this dimension of life, you need intelligence, isn't it? If you want to transcend to other dimensions of life, don't you need even more intelligence? Yes? Yes or no? But the most idiotic ones in the world are claiming to be religious, isn't it? See, if I just create a situation, this is how spirituality is passing off most of the time, in India and everywhere. Just tell you, just look at the bulb, there you can see, can you see Shiva? See, he's there. I'll tell you, the most idiotic ones in this hall will see Shiva first, others will be wondering, what is it? The fools will see it first, isn't it so? Because they have no control over their imaginations. They don't know which is their imagination and which is not. They will start seeing everything. They'll see angels and gods and everything first. But the intelligent ones are always wondering what the hell is happening, isn't it? Isn't it so? Unfortunately, this is passing off as religion and spirituality. This is why no right-thinking person wants to come anywhere near anything spiritual, because it's become such a disgusting presentation.